Or peace in sight as the war ravages the Middle East. Tonight, the UN warns the Middle East is on the verge of the abyss. Nearly 2,700 people are dead and nearly 10,000 are injured. For those who have not left Gaza, the conditions have deteriorated. We also know Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu invited President Biden to Israel for a visit, and the situation in Gaza still rapidly unfolding. Eyewitness News reporter Lucy Yang is in the newsroom with the latest on the war tonight. Lucy?
Well, Joe, in times of war, no one has a monopoly on suffering. More than 1,400 Israelis and almost 2,700 Palestinians have been killed. They are running out of body bags, and the death toll is expected to rise. There are now calls to minimize the casualty to civilians as Israel gets ready to march into Gaza. Israeli tanks muscling their way to the Gaza border. A pep talk with Jewish troops from their prime minister. Meanwhile, the shelling never stops. All roads point to an imminent incursion of Gaza. The northern part is believed to be Hamas's stronghold, fortified with tunnels and ammunition and fighters. The fear is more than 100 hostages may be imprisoned here, including Americans. This region now has a bullseye on its back.
We will strike Hamas from the top, through its institutions, all the way down to the individuals that conducted the butchery of our babies.
Palestinian civilians in the north have been warned to evacuate. Some 400,000 have fled, but that leaves 600,000 behind, potentially to be used as human shields by Hamas. A bipartisan group of American senators went to Tel Aviv this weekend with a two-pronged message. The U.S. will support Israel with military assistance and intelligence, but Israel must show mercy to the Palestinian civilians who never asked for this war.
We know it's difficult, but still we have to minimize civilian casualties in Gaza.
Escaping bloodshed will not be easy. Wars are not waged with scalpels. The landscape in the south, hardly a place to welcome fleeing refugees. All through Gaza, the lack of water, power, and food is wreaking havoc. Hospitals crying out for humanitarian aid. And the ground assault has not even begun.
You're going to see pictures of Palestinian civilians that are going to be injured and killed by virtue of the conflict which is ongoing. I hope we recognize that those individuals are being killed because of Hamas, not because of Israel.
Of course, no word on when Israel will launch into Gaza, but you can expect graphic, painful images to follow. Americans are now being encouraged to leave Gaza immediately, but that is proving easier said than done, especially with borders closed. Joe.
And